Hey, what's happening, fellow Switch bargain hunters? I hope you're doing well. I'm James Zamera. A quick shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. I hope you're having a good one. You're getting treated well, you're getting spoiled, and well, maybe you've got some Nintendo Switch eShop credit that you can use. Now, as always, we're going through the UK, US, and EU eShops to help you find the best deals. And it's a really strong week this week, but you will need to be quick, as a lot of these sales do end on the 22nd, especially in the US. They seem to be ending a bit quicker. So, without further ado, what are the best eShop games on sale this week? Let's jump in and find out. Kicking things off this week, I reviewed Metro Redux and was extremely impressed at the port of both Metro 2033 and Last Light. Both are on sale, with their biggest sale with 65% off, and are a solid choice for FPS fans. And if you have a UK or EU account, then wait for it. Last Light has a ridiculous 90% off, making it less than the price of a cup of coffee. It's an absolute no-brainer. The Metro series offers a unique and thrilling experience combining survival horror, first-person shooting, and stealth, set in the bleak, post-apocalyptic metro system of Russia and occasionally the toxic surface. The first was certainly lent more towards the survival and stealth side of things, whilst Last Light was more action-orientated. However, with the Redux versions, each of the games can be played in the other style. It's really cool. Two brilliant games at a steal, especially Last Light. Jordan, Juan, what about you? What are your picks this week?
How you doing, everyone? It's Jordan here. Now, my bargain of the week is going to the one and only Transistor. I finally found some time to put into this game recently, and I have to say it is pretty awesome. Supergiant Games never make just a decent game. They are all top quality, and this is right up there amongst their best. A sci-fi themed action RPG. Yes, it may be closer to a decade old than not, but time has not diminished a thing. It's currently 80% off, making it $4 and slightly over €3 and pounds, and considering how essential this game is, it's a sale not to be taken lightly. Pick it up, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts about it.
Thanks very much, James. Ruiner is my pick of the week. This is a brutal action shooter set in 2091, and I absolutely love this high-octane action shooter with lots of weapons to obliterate those enemies. A game I actually reviewed on the channel, so if you want to check that out for more detail, hit that top right-hand banner. It's a challenge, no doubt, but one well worth taking. I enjoyed the visuals and soundtrack in this game, and you're on a mission to save your brother and take down a corrupt system with your hacker friend. It's violent, it's brutal, feels great to play, and it's a story-driven shooter which is compelling enough to keep you interested all the way through. For a bargain price of just £4.49 or $4.99 in dollars for our friends in the US, and €4.99 in euros for our friends in Europe, certainly not going to be a ruiner to your wallet. Take care, everybody. See you next week.
Quality picks there, guys, and happy Father's Day to you both. Now up next, it's Super Bomberman R. This is a solid and simple affair. The classic gameplay is back, and as you might expect, single player is okay, but it's not really that great. Multiplayer is what this one is all about. One of the original party games is just as good today in its revamped skin. The problem is, at its original price, it's a hell of a lot to ask for a party game, but now at just $4.49 in the UK, it really is a bargain. It's one that you can always have fun when mates come round with. If you're not familiar with this one, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a superb strategy game that is a delight to play and different from other SRPG series out there. This is a story-driven affair, more so than most strategy games, and it takes place in an alternate reality during World War II. The narrative is at its heart, and it plays out like an anime based on European history in between the game's sprawling, large-mapped battles. In battle is where things really do heat up. The game combines turn-based tactics style gameplay using a resource called command points. Once you issue a character with orders, however, you switch to a third-person shooter view that sounds odd on paper but works brilliantly in practice. As you move, you generally only have one attack, and if you get too close, the enemies will fire back. The game is large, and there are more classes than the original PS3 title that this is based on. For those who want to try something a bit different, give this one a go. You won't be disappointed. Slay the Spire is the perfect game to pick up and play when you fancy a nice solo run or have some downtime to kill. Each run is different yet familiar in this addictive, roguelike deck building battler. What's more, there has been content added over time, such as a fourth class and ascension mode and leaderboards, which all add to that replayability of this game, which is why I still pick it up from time to time. What's great is just how varied each run is. Your core characters have their own playstyles, but even amongst them, picking up different cards or landing a different relic will take you down a slightly different path. The balance is great, and that's ultimately an important part of why this is such a great game. Oxenfree is a creepy supernatural ghost story that really does get under your skin. It's a short journey, and based on the graphics you wouldn't think that it would be freaky, but it really does do the job. It's worth taking this trip twice to discover more and experience some of the different possibilities. The soundtrack and use of eerie sounds is superb, and the branching dialogue choices are smartly done. It's a very accomplished game, and if you like a good supernatural story, then look no further. This one is essential for you, in my opinion. Like Jordan's pick, Hades is another superb game from Supergiant Games. They really don't disappoint. They brought us Transistor and Bastion, and like those games, it's a silky, smooth and polished affair with outstanding narration that really sets it apart. It's a roguelike dungeon crawler that came out not too long ago, and it really blew us away, featuring on our recent list. You play as Zagreus, son of Hades, who wants to escape the underworld and will fail many times, gradually getting stronger as you go. The Pantheon cast is brilliant, and the way they recall your runs and taunt or support you is such a nice touch. But it's in the action that things really come alive, with a choice of 6 weapons once you progress. Each offers a different playstyle to take on the hordes of undead. This is one hell of a game that you really won't want to put down, an essential purchase. Now, next up, it's Octopath Traveler, a game that I really enjoy, and I cannot wait for the second one in the series. This new JRPG IP is a wonder to play, featuring 8 different characters with their own tales and unique playstyle that are woven together. This 2D turn-based title sports lovely HD sprite work and a 3D world to explore. Its deep strategic gameplay is the star of the show, and with 50% off, you will definitely get your money's worth, as you can easily sink well over 50 hours into this one. There's even a demo, so you can give it a try before committing to a purchase. This is the biggest sale we've seen yet on this one, and it's on sale in the UK, EU and US eShop, so everyone can enjoy it. Combining tight 2D platforming, action RPG elements, and a really solid story, Indivisible is an interesting mashup. The game takes place in a 2D platforming world and battles that incorporate real-time and turn-based mechanics, and it just works. The visuals are beautifully done and hand-drawn. This is a game really worth considering. There's so much here, especially with a really nice 75% off across all regions. I really do like the God Eater series, and God Eater 3 is the best one yet. If you do like monster hunters like I do, then you're probably going to like this as well. It's set in a dystopian world where you play the role of a God Eater, someone who can wield the power of the Aragami and wield gigantic weapons known as God Arcs. The story sees you set across the world and meet a host of different characters, find and craft badass weapons, they really are badass, and gear and slay massive monsters. It's a blast, and different enough from Monster Hunter to have its own place. The battles are much shorter and snappier, for example. This is one of my favourite games actually, definitely worth checking out, and if you're unsure, check out my review by clicking up at the top right hand corner. Superhot is an indie rock star. If you haven't heard of it before, the premise is that it's a first person shooter where time is linked to your movement. The more you run and gun, the faster things get, and as you slow down, so do the bullets flying at you from all angles. It's difficult, but not overly so. It's a great sweet spot, and once you get the hang of it, it feels great. The campaign is a little bit on the short side, but with 50% off right now, it's well priced. In Golf Story, you play as someone who as a kid had aspirations to become a golf pro but failed. Sounds a bit like me. Now you fast forward and you're the underdog, but you're determined to make your childhood dream come true and get out there proving them wrong. It oozes SNES era charm through its lush pixelated graphics and soundtrack that piles the pressure on as you make shots. The beauty of this game is how it's managed to take 2 perfectly good standalone genres and mix them together with such aplomb, such a harmonious coming together, which really makes this game a delight, and it's one worth playing whether you do or don't like golf. Yes, from the creators of Slain Back from Hell, this is still Mantis having another go, but this time taking everything that they learned from the first time and implementing lots of improvements into this awesome 2D action game, which is balls hard, but pure awesomeness with its tight platforming and gunning. With that awesome heavy rock soundtrack and violent, gory, pixelated, wonderful visuals, you can't go wrong here. If you're faint of heart, then probably skip this one. Alien Isolation is a really tense game. The movies that inspired it are fantastic at building tension, and this replicates that creeping sense of dread extremely well. As you make your way around the ship, you are never in any doubt that you are being stalked by an ultimate predator. The audio is used really well here as well, and you will be screaming, running for a locker to hide in as soon as the xenomorph gets near you. Florence started out life on mobiles to well-deserved critical acclaim, so it's a natural fit on the Switch with its touchscreen capabilities. It's a beautifully hand-drawn comic-style tale that unfolds as a mix of light gameplay and immersive story. You play as Florence, a woman in her 20s stuck in a really dull routine when she suddenly gets drawn in by some fabulous music, meets Krish, and what follows is a charming, interactive rom-com. Interestingly, there is no actual dialogue, but the story is so well laid out and relatable that you never struggle to understand what's going on here. The game score is superb, and the only downside is that it's really short. It's actually less than 1 hour. Something that is negated though with a nice 50% off right now. The Last Campfire is a puzzle adventure game that is charming and strikes the right balance in its storytelling and in getting its puzzles just right when it comes to difficulty. It feels as though you're exploring a beautiful storybook and you want to find out more about this world. The developers of No Man's Sky did a great job with this one, and now it's got 50% off as well. And there you have it, folks. I think it's a really strong week. What about you? What is your pick? Do let us know down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll be back with more content tomorrow, so keep tuned. Until then, take care and have a great week.